Okay, so today we're going to look at two of my favorite prime lens focal lengths, 85mm, 35mm. What are the differences? When would you use each one? And can you use both of these for all the kind of same stuff? Let's get into it. Let's really get into it. It's Tutorial Tuesday. Welcome back to Tutorial Tuesday, where each and every Tuesday, we bring you a brand new, fresh, a lovely fresh photography tutorial. This week, we've taken a step back from photo editing for 1 week to talk about these two lens focal lengths, 85mm, 35mm. Now, I was lucky enough that Sigma actually sent these through for us to check out, for us to try out, along with the 135mm. These are the art lenses. Oh, lovely lenses, but we'll save that for its own video. And to be honest with you, this is fantastic timing because it happened to coincide with a few photography projects that I wanted to do anyway, as well as a couple of events that I was going to shoot as well. And it kind of got me thinking, okay, 85mm, 35mm, these are two of my kind of favorite focal lengths, both f1.4, beautiful lenses, but how do I go through the process of actually choosing which one to use for different things, right? 85mm is often thought of when it comes to portraiture, and for very good reason. It does create very flattering, very beautiful portrait. It's able to really separate your subject from your background. 35mm will often be thought of as kind of an all-rounder. Kind of gives you that human perspective on things, right? So great for landscape, great for architecture, for street photography, for portrait, all kinds of different things. But I actually find there's a lot of overlap with these two lenses. I'll use both of these lenses for lots of similar things. And do you know what? Let's just get into it. How do you pick which one of these two lenses you're going to use for different things? Well, there's lots of little subtle differences, there's a lot of bigger differences, but the main thing I want to talk about is the difference in the feel between these two lenses. 85mm at its core is all about who the subject is. Now, of course, that works great for portraiture, but landscape, you're really focusing on the subject, right? Street photography, events, you're really focusing in on that subject, who the subject is. 35mm, where the subject is. Now, I've said this before in previous videos, but the more I use these two lenses, and I actually restricted myself to pretty much just these two lenses over the last couple of weeks, the more I feel it, right? 85mm really lets me get to know who the subject is. I am removing all other distractions. I am focusing in. I'm getting a separation of subject and background. I'm absolutely creating a story around who they are. 35mm, I'm getting much more of the environment in. I'm telling more of an environmental story. I'm getting much more context around my subject. Now, that's true for portraiture. 85mm, I think, creates beautiful portraits, but 35mm will certainly give you a more environmental portrait, a bit more context of the environment around your subject. I recently shot some photos at our Park Cameras Wildlife Day, and I used the 85mm and the 35mm. And the main difference, again, is that 85mm really let me focus in on a subject, on a moment, and capture that, removing the rest of the distractions. Not as much environment, but capturing that moment. Great for shots of people, interactions, things like that. Whereas 35mm I was using for more contextual, establishing shots or wider shots of all the people, all the crowds, all that kind of thing. I don't think of it so much as 85mm is more zoomed in and 35mm is wider. Obviously that's true, but I tend to think of it more along those lines. What is the feel? What is the story of the shot that I'm trying to take? Because I can always move myself, right? I can take the same kind of shot with an 85mm as I can with a 35mm. I just need to move around myself. It's going to fundamentally change the look of the shot. It's going to fundamentally change things like the background, how much of it's in frame, what's in frame, and how much separation there is between subject and background. But for example, this shot, which is a crowd shot, was taken on the 85mm because I loved the lens compression that I was getting using that. Whereas a lot of the other crowd shots, I was using the 35mm to try and get that. I actually went out and took some shots of my dog recently, Nala, who a lot of you have got to know on this channel because she's a fantastic model. I love shooting with the 85mm for that because I'm really honing in on her. But actually, I found that using the 35mm gave me the kind of photo that I wanted to get with her. More an environmental photo of her in the woods because she loves it there and she was happy just sitting there. She's just in the woods, one of her favorite places, and I'm getting a little bit more of that environment around her. Whereas the 85mm, it's just a blurred, pretty much green background. So it's all about her. It's a lovely portrait. I'm very happy with it. But I think for her, the 35mm made more sense. Whereas another photography project that I was actually recently shooting, and these came in perfectly in time for me to do that, was shots of myself. I was trying to mark some weight loss progress, right? So from last summer when I decided to start losing weight, I've lost quite a lot of weight and I've been working out a lot. So I wanted to take some photos to really mark that occasion and show the difference. And actually, I found that the 85mm was perfect to do that. It was able to hone in specifically on me, capture me, no background, don't need any context around it. I actually want it to be me isolated because the story of that shot is specifically me and my weight loss, not the kind of environment around me. If I was shooting myself, maybe in the gym working out or something like that, or running up on the South Downs, I might have used something like the 35mm. But for me, just in my kind of makeshift home studio, which by the way, is one light and then a red light behind me against a dark wall. That's all it is, nothing super special. And actually, if you'd be interested in a full breakdown of how I took that shot, that could be a whole tutorial Tuesday. But for that, the 85mm was absolutely perfect. Even things like street photography, where you would often think of something like a 35mm, you can absolutely use an 85mm depending on the kind of shot you want to come away with. Do you want to come away with a slightly wider, more contextual shot, or do you want to really hone in on that subject? That's really what it's all about for me. These two lenses offer very similar things, right? Lots of light coming in through the lens, beautiful images, but it really is, what is that shot about? What is the story about? Is it who the subject is, or is it where the subject is? And that's what it comes down to for me. Past that, we've obviously got things like the 135, which is an even more exaggerated version of that kind of feel when you're taking portraits or landscapes or whatever it might be, really honing in even further. That's another lovely art lens. You could go a little bit wider, something like the 24mm, to get even more of a contextual environmental shot. And of course, the 50mm sits right in that middle zone, where you can kind of go either way, right? Get in nice and close to your subject, make it all about them, pull back a bit. You've got a lot of options. But for me, 85, 35, these are the two prime lenses I love to have in my bag with me at any time, because it allows me to take most of my shots, focusing specifically on, like I say, the story I'm trying to tell with the shot. Now you can check out these lenses, the Sigma 85, Sigma 35, as well as all the rest of the art lenses by checking out the links down in the description. We are going to have a video about these specifically, more of a review video, which will be fun, because I have really enjoyed using them, and they are stunning lenses. But you can check those out down in the description. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe. If there's something specific you would like to see on a future Tutorial Tuesday, maybe we'll go back to editing next week. Maybe we'll go on to something else. I don't know. Let me know what you want to see. We've had some great suggestions. Actually, I think we've got some great Lightroom videos planned, and they're based on suggestions from you guys. I absolutely love to see your suggestions popping in, so keep them coming if there's anything specific you would like to see. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe, because there's new content all the time. I will see you in the next video. But until then, as always, thanks for watching.